Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're not a subscriber, welcome back. Today I want to talk about a topic that is a little bit still, I can call it fresh, and we still have a lot of emotions. My husband and I, we're talking about it, but I can give you the story. So I got married in July 2022. Then my husband had to go back to his home country. So he went back in August. August 3rd is when he went back. Then 3 weeks later, I found out that I was pregnant. It was joy. We were really, really excited. I mean, yes, I'd given birth before, but this was me giving birth after I'm married. That carries, I personally, that was something that I'd longed for, to get married, to have children, for my other children to have a father. So it was something that was really emotional for me and also for my husband. We are going to have a child. So this was like an answered prayer. So we start making plans. We start to see where I'm going to give birth from. Am I giving birth from Uganda? Am I moving to where he is? Because in Uganda, I hadn't gotten health insurance. And unfortunately, they couldn't take me on because I was already pregnant. So they couldn't cover my maternity. So we made the hard decision that if I'm to give birth in Uganda, it would be cash patients. And that isn't very cheap. Okay, it depends on where you give birth from. So we went, we made the plans, but if I were to give birth in his country, I would be covered because the marriage was registered and I was legally his wife. So I would be covered. So we sat down and we talked about, okay, virtually, yes, we sat down virtually. Then we talked about what would be possible. We gave both options and we like, okay, we shall see what is best for us. So as a few months go by, of course, we're excited. We wanted to know, is it a girl? Is it a boy? I personally wanted a girl because I already have 2 boys. He also wanted a girl because, fathers and daughters. So I request for a scan. Then I tell the radiographer, how is my baby doing? How is the heartbeat? Then he tells me, your babies are doing okay. Then I tell him, no, as in tell me, my baby. He tells me, no, your babies. You're having twins. It hit me. I was like, no, twins, no. In my family, we don't really have a history of twins, but my husband's side has very many twins. So when I'm told that I'm having twins, My mind was thinking, what am I going to do with twins? How am I going to manage twins? If the things don't work out for my husband, as in for me to travel immediately, how am I going to handle twins on my own? So, so many things running. I had so many emotions. I was excited. I was scared. I didn't know which emotion to go with. Honestly, I didn't know which emotion to go with. But at least I had two heartbeats. Actually, I heard the heartbeats. That was still too soon for me to know the sex of the child. But I was excited that yes, I'm going to have two babies. Because my original plan was have 4 children, and that is it. So for me, I was thinking, if I'm not married by this age, I'll have my 2 children, and that is it. Because I already had 2 children. If I get married, I will have 2 more children, and that is it. I close the chapter. So God was not sleeping. I'm like, okay, God, is this you trying to tell me that you want me to get done with the giving birth? I go home, then I call my husband. I tell him, honey, I have some news. Like, oh, okay. Because we had a 7-hour difference between us. He was going to not really, it was daytime there, and I was going to sleep. It was in the evening hours, my time. So I told him, I need to give you this news before I go to sleep. I'm like, okay, what's happening? Did you go to the doctor? Is the baby okay? I'm like, yes, the babies are okay. He sent me emojis of with the eyes wide open, like, babies. I'm like, yes, we're having twins. Then I told him, in my country, a mother of twins is called a nalongo. Then a father to twins is called a salongo. So I told him, I'm going to be a nalongo, you're going to be a salongo. Didn't understand it. So after I gave him that news, he also had mixed emotions, because he kept telling me, in case we apply for the visa and it's not given to us, how are you going to handle the children? You'll be having 4 children and I won't be there. How are you going to handle the children? I'm like, you know what? Leave that. We shall manage. Right now, let us focus on the pregnancy growing as we make plans to see that I move. So, yes, that goes to... So a few months later, around December, because we were planning to have Christmas together. So I applied for the visa. Our original plan was, I get residence, then it would be easier for me to bring my other sons along. So that was the plan. So in December, I apply for a visa. Then they didn't get back to me till January. That was already a disappointment. Then I thought, yeah, maybe we will have New Year's together. So when the results, when I was sent an email that my results are, that a decision has been made, that I should go and pick up my passport, honestly, I expected good news, because I was thinking, what could possibly go wrong? I am married. Then I had attached my scan for the pregnancy. I shall talk about that later. I'd attached my scan for the pregnancy, the marriage certificate, his financial statements, my financial statements. Generally, we were thinking this is a clear-cut decision. Visa approved. So I go. I'm all excited. My husband is like, let me even go and buy a ticket. I'm like, yes, but first hold on. So I picked my passport. It was in an envelope, kind of big envelope. So I sat down by those chairs that they provide. I sat down and I opened my letter. Guess what? It was a rejection. They had denied me the visa to go and see my husband. Guys, you should have seen me cry on those chairs. I cried. I cried so much. They even became concerned, and the security guard came and asked me, are you okay? First of all, I was very heavy. Very heavy. And I told them, yes, I'm fine. So I composed myself. I got my letter. I got my passport. I moved out. So my husband was really, really waiting for the results. Because he had told me that in the morning, he's going to go and buy a what? He's going to go and buy a ticket, because we both knew it was clear cut. So he goes, sorry, I actually sent him a text and I tell him, you know what, honey? Actually, I sent him a picture of because it was written in Dutch. So I sent him a picture of the letter. It had Visum, something then. I didn't even bother to read the reasons as to why I was rejected, because I was hurt. I was so disappointed. This is, you think this is a sure deal. So he first took I saw he read the message, but it took about 20 minutes to get back to me. And he was also processing the rejection. And he was processing the rejection. Then he got back to me. It's like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, honey, I do understand. But that is it now. Now, what is the plan B? Plan B was me giving birth in Uganda as cash patients. At this point, I was about 6 months. About 6 months? January? 6 months. Yeah. I was about 6 months pregnant. So the weeks go by. Since I was having twins, it was declared what do they call that type of pregnancy? Okay, high risk pregnancy. It was declared a high risk pregnancy. There's a fly here that is, I don't know what it wants. Oh, thanks God, I have sweets with me. It was declared a high risk pregnancy, so I had to go see the doctor frequently and also check on the twins. So when we went and checked on the last scan that I had, they told me, yeah, the twins are doing okay. Actually, they told me one twin is doing okay, but the other twin could be having a problem. So I told them, what is the problem? And like, no, it's okay. We shall put in the report. Then your doctor can explain to you what the problem is. So they gave me the report. I tried reading the report and it was all doctor language. I couldn't understand it. So I took it to my doctor, and my doctor explained that one of my twins had a heart problem. One of the ventricles was not developed. And they told me that there was a high chance that the baby couldn't make it once he was born. That hit me so hard. Because I mean, I was excited. I was thinking, this is my last pregnancy. This is my last pregnancy. And here I'm being told that one of them may not make it. Wow. This topic still hurts even after all this time. So I told my husband that one of the twins has a problem with his heart and may not make it. Of course, he was sad, but given that he was very far away from me, he couldn't comfort me, I couldn't comfort him. Knowing that we may lose a child broke me. It broke him. So, after I got that news, I made my peace with it. And I thought, God, if this is how you've decided, who am I to argue? I got this news in January. Then, at the end of January, I made 7 months at the end of January. Actually, I made 28 weeks on the last day of January, to that Saturday. And on that day, I had gone for my antenatal visit, and they had injected me with I think it's what is that drug? Okay, there's a drug that is given to pregnant ladies to make the lungs of the babies mature faster. So they gave me that, and they told me that because it's a high risk pregnancy, I needed that in case of anything for the babies to be okay. I'm like, okay, thank you. It was a 3-day dose. So the first dose was given on that day. Then I had to go back. I had to go back in the evening for So I went back home. I was given another dose. Then in the morning, I also got another dose. That was on a Sunday. So that was week 28. So on that, it was a Monday. It was a Monday evening. Actually, on Monday morning, I got to work, but I wasn't really feeling very okay. I kept sleeping the whole day and I felt nauseous. So I tell my boss I'm really not feeling okay. So I went to one of the rooms at office. Then I slept. I slept. It was like I spent my whole day sleeping. I spent my whole day sleeping because I wasn't feeling that okay. So I went back home early and I told those guys at home, I'm not feeling very okay. I had my supper. I went and I slept. So at around 4 a.m., I started to feel a little bit of pain. Remember, I'm 28 weeks pregnant. I start to feel a lot of pain. But it was on and off. So I sent my boss a text that night. I told her, I'm feeling a lot of pain. I don't think I'll be able to make it to work today. So I sleep off. I'm like, when the pain decreases, I'll go to the hospital and see what is happening. During the wee hours of the morning, that was at around 6, the pain intensifies. It was now like contractions. I was thinking, no, it can't be. I'm only 28 weeks pregnant. How can it be? It can't be labor. So I got my phone and I started typing signs of false pregnancy. Signs of false labor. So I got the details. I was thinking, nah, this is just false labor. I'll be okay very soon. I'm typing that, but I'm having a lot of pain. So at around 9, was it 9? I sent my sister a text. I'm like, Daphne, I think there's something wrong. Because at that time, I saw blood coming out of my lady places. And I was thinking, no, this isn't normal. So I sent my sister a text and I'm like, there's something wrong with the pregnancy. I think the babies are coming. I am home. One of my boys has gone to school. One of them is at home. He's 4 at this time, 4 years old. So I'm thinking, no, this will go away. But again, at the back of my mind, I was like, the other research that I've just made didn't have blood. Maybe this is more serious. Meanwhile, my mom was about 5 minutes away from me. As in, her home was just 5 minutes away from where I was renting. But I didn't want to bother her. So I told my sister instead, who's very far, who's at work. Then she tells my brother, one of my brothers works at a hospital. Tells my brother, I think there's something wrong with Teddy. I need to go and see her. Meanwhile, at around 11:30, I go to my porch. So my immediate neighbor had was around that day. And remember, by the way, I had just moved into that house. I didn't even met my neighbors at all. We hadn't talked. I had seen her go to work once because I moved in on a Saturday. Then all this happened on a Tuesday morning. So I'd seen her around, but we hadn't really talked. That's the honest truth. So I go and there was someone that was seated on her porch with her children, my neighbor's porch. She had a tutor for her children, so they were tutoring the children from their porch. So I go and call her and I'm like, I need help. I'm pregnant and I think the babies are coming. At this point, the pain was, that pushing. I felt the babies were pushing to come out. So she panics. She was an older lady. Older, she was an older lady. She also panics. Then she calls my neighbor. My neighbor comes. When my neighbor came, I had one of the babies in my hands. Then she's like, "You've already given birth." Then I told her, "There's another one coming. There's another one coming." But the first baby that came had already detached from the placenta. So the placenta was still inside me. The baby came. I mean, I hadn't bought anything. I hadn't prepared for this pregnancy because our plan was mid February we go and he sends me money to go and shop. So this was 1st of February. The clothes that I had were from my previous babies. I'd kept some, the good looking ones, I'd kept those. So I had them in a suitcase. So my neighbor's like, "Where are the clothes? Where are the clothes?" I tell her, "I don't have clothes for the baby. We don't have clothes for the baby." Then she just goes and gets one of my dresses that was on the bed. She gets that, she wraps that baby, puts on the chair. Then she comes, and now I pushed my other baby. The baby came out in his full sack, plus the placenta. You know that sack where they pop and the baby, the water breaks? Yes, he came out in his full sack. Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to tell you, they were both boys. So she went to a nearby shop. She got a razor blade, cut the umbilical cord. We used a rubber band, and we tied the cord, the baby's cord. So we wrapped that baby also, and put the baby also on my chair on the couch in the living room. So I stood up. Now my sister had called my mom to come and check on me. So she came, and she almost sat on one of the babies because she thought I hadn't given birth and I was just going to give birth. But for me, I was already moving in my house, trying to clean up. I went to the bathroom. I tried to clean up because I was all bloody. I tried to clean up. Then I had the ambulance at the gate. They came in. They put me in the ambulance. They put the babies in the ambulance, and off we went. So these were babies that were born at 28 weeks preterm. So I send my husband and text them. I'm like, honey, wake up. I've just given birth. I'm on my way to the hospital. We need money. Midday, my time was 5 a.m. his time, and that's the time that usually I woke up to go to prepare for work. So that's the first message that he saw, because he called me immediately. Like, I'm in the ambulance, the babies are there. I turned the phone, the babies are there. Then, as we're still in the ambulance, they had put oxygen on the two babies. They're pumping oxygen on the two babies. But again, I noticed that the nurse stopped pumping oxygen on one of the babies. Then, at the back of my mind, I knew that the baby was normal. I knew that my baby had died. So she turned to me, then she told me, I'm sorry, your baby is gone. At that time, I had so many emotions. I had just given birth prematurely. Now my baby, I knew the baby may not make it, but hearing her say it and me seeing the baby actually die, it hit different. It hit different, honestly. You know, when you expect something to happen, but when it happens, you still get shocked. That was my reaction. So yes, I was so yeah, I lost my baby in the ambulance on our way to hospital. And my other baby was pale, but they kept on pumping oxygen. Then later in hospital, they told me that my other twin, if we had taken another 5 minutes at home, may not have made it as well. So we go to hospital. Remember, we are cash patients. We pay the deposit to have us admitted. And if you remember, I still had the placenta inside me of the first baby that passed on. So I go see the gynecologist. They remove the placenta. Oh my goodness, that pain. Oh my goodness. Whew. Don't remember that pain. So yeah, they got out the placenta. They cleaned me up. And I was also admitted. Sorry guys, my son decided to wake up. So I think I'm going to finish this with him. Hey, say hello. Say hi. Hi. Yes. So this is my son that was born at 28 weeks. And in hospital, after I was admitted, we spent 7 weeks for him to mature, so that they could send us back home. So in those 7 weeks that I was at hospital, I had so many things running in my mind, so many emotions. I was alone. My husband was not there. He was there. Yes, he was there, but he was not there physically. So I felt that emptiness, and the fact that I had to go to hospital every day. I had to pump milk for my son because he couldn't breastfeed. Every day I had to trek to hospital and make sure that he gets breast milk, because they told me that breast milk is the thing that could actually save him. But also, when we're still there, I almost lost him as well, because he developed a condition that is called NEC. I'll put it down below, or the full name of NEC, where he couldn't take the milk, and they had to pump out the milk out of his stomach. The stomach was getting so swollen. It was getting swollen. Doctor. He's gone away. So it was, I almost lost him as well. But the fact that he's here, it's only God that, actually spared him. Didn't want me to have a second heartbreak. So yeah, that is how I lost one of my twins. And I stayed with my other miracle baby that you've all just seen. So yeah, that is my story. Thank you for making it this far. If you've liked this content, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And please leave a comment down below. Thank you. Bye-bye.